Venezuela decries reported meetings between U.S. officials and coup plotters. Venezuela is responding angrily to a report in the New York Times that details alleged secret meetings between Trump administration officials and Venezuelan military officers seeking to oust the country's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro. We denounce before the international community the intervention plans and the support of military plots by the United States government. The secret meetings, which NPR has not independently confirmed, were reported by Times journalists Ernesto Londano and Nicholas Casey on Saturday, based on interviews with 11 current and former U.S. officials and a former Venezuelan military commander. Speaking to the Weekend Edition Sunday, Londano said the meeting started after President Trump made a remark last August that he was not ruling out the possibility of a military option against Maduro's government. Down in Caracas, there were some senior members of the military who had soured on Nicolas Maduro, and they perked up when they heard this. They wondered if the Trump administration might be willing to help them. Here's more from Londano. At the White House, officials took a look at this, and they weighed the pros and cons, and ultimately they decided they wanted to hear from these guys. They wanted to meet with them. So over the course of at least 3 secret meetings that happened abroad, an American diplomat established a back channel with these dissident officers. At one point, the Venezuelans asked if the United States would give them encrypted radios. They said they needed to have a means to communicate more securely. Washington takes this into account, and it ultimately decides not to. And as we understand it, there are in recent months a series of plans that are set in motion to detain Nicolas Maduro and oust his government. However, there are leaks, and none of these plans succeed, and now several of the plotters are behind bars. Maduro routinely accuses the U.S. government of plotting against him, and this is likely to embolden those claims. Well, so of course Venezuela is going to deny that. I mean, if there's... U.S. officials are not publicly confirming or denying the Times account. U.S. policy preference for a peaceful, orderly return to democracy in Venezuela remains unchanged, National Security Council spokesperson Garrett Marquis said in a statement. A lasting solution to Venezuela's worsening crisis can only arise following restoration of governance by democratic practices, the rule of law, and respect for fundamental human rights and freedom. That's usually what we do around the world, right, guys? This is... Usually around the world, we always seek diplomatic means. We encourage democratic processes. We never promote endless war for the exploitations of resources. So, this is all sound here. So, yeah, I mean, of course, and those reports came out earlier this week that there's been alleged meetings between U.S. officials to overthrow Maduro. So, yeah, I mean, of course Venezuela is going to deny that. I mean, if that is going on, of course they're going to deny it. It's hardly newsworthy that other members of the government denied it. I mean, it's newsworthy. Like it's a good article. It kind of explores it, and it comes to the logical conclusion that there's still a lot of speculation out there we have not confirmed 100%, and that's fine. But as far as of course, if the accusations afoot are there's unrest in this government to the point where there are members inside trying to overthrow Maduro, of course they're going to be like, that's not true. So. This is just sort of a repackaging of what's already been in the news this week. There's been alleged meetings between U.S. officials. They haven't been 100% confirmed. But to make it out like Maduro's crazy when he's saying, oh, the U.S. is involved in trying to overthrow me, well, no, there's speculation out there that supports that claim. And it's a relevant claim to make. As far as how relevant, well, we're still waiting to find out a lot more. And, at least as of the recording of this and to the extent of everything I've seen, we don't have those sound conclusions yet. But, of course, Venezuela is going to deny it. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, if you're inside a government, you're trying to overthrow the guy. They're like, oh, wait, no, we're not. That's not true. We're happy here. Nothing to see here. Look away. So, interesting. There's actually a pretty strong, thorough article from NPR. Who a lot of times these days does frustrate me. But that seemed to be a pretty okay account.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. An article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make